Chris, are you satisfied with the way your offense is functioning at this point? And along those lines, the turnover situation, what can you address? How can you address that?
Well, I mean, we're scoring the ball better, but at the same time, we've had a few games in a row where we've turned the ball over too much, and it's been a focus of ours here in practice, and we have to be a little bit more patient at times. We have to be able to make better decisions. Take what the defense gives us, play longer into the clock, know who we're passing the ball to and what situation we're putting our teammate in, and we're not talking about reducing it by 8 to 10, but 3 to 4, and I think that by and large we've been a pretty good team with the ball all year, and I didn't think NC State's pressure was suffocating. We need to do a better job, and that's, like I said, been a focus in practice.
There have been a couple games where maybe you start off with a lot of turnovers in the first few minutes, but then are able to pare it down as time goes on. Do you think it's just players kind of starting off a little too excited and getting too fast, or what's the...
Maybe. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me what the reason is. We just have to cut them down. We've talked about it, and that was one of the most frustrating things. We really talked about it, coming into the game against NC State. Sometimes you prove more prophetic, and but again, we're going to continue to try to clean it up, and hopefully it's not a bugaboo and something that holds us back, but it will if we don't correct it.
Chris, a month ago today, you came in here and talked about getting manhandled by Florida State. You haven't lost since. What did that game do for your team, both emotionally, maybe from an X's and O's standpoint?
I mean, Florida State's really good. I don't think, going into the game, I felt the same way. I felt they were a terrific team. I thought they shot the ball extremely well that day. Their length bothers everybody they play. They deny. I thought we got good shots. That was our goal. But as I said, in many press conferences, we're going to continue to try to get better no matter what the result is. I don't think something all of a sudden clicked. I really don't. I think our team's been, locked in on trying to improve in practice, learning from games, getting better. I thought we got a shot of confidence in those first couple road games immediately after, where we had a lead, where we were battling from behind, and we were able to sort of gut check it out. And I think that's really helped our team in those type of environments, and we've continued to get better in a lot of areas.
Chris, your team is shooting well from three, especially recently, and I'm curious. Part of that's just making shots that are tough, but a lot of it is getting open looks. How do you manage shot selection and making sure that you guys aren't just taking a quick three because you're shooting well? And how do you manage it so you get those open looks when guys are open in the corner?
Well, it starts with I think knowing what we want as a team. Not everyone has a license to shoot transition threes. We want Ryan and Jordan to take looks when they're open in transition. But those other guys, with their percentage, haven't really earned that right, and I think we can get a better shot. And our guys have bought into that. I think we've always been a team that's, really made the right play or tried to share the ball. I think we're a really good passing team and a team that plays the right way. And you can want that as a coach all you want, but I think you have to have some maturity in your locker room and some selfless guys on the team, and I believe we have that.
You were an assistant coach at Wake for 3 or so years, a long way down the line. How did those years kind of help you grow? Did you enjoy that time and all that?
No, I loved it. I loved it. A big part of it is who you're working with, whether it's the coaching staff and being under Skip, but it's also the administration and fellow coaches. The area is beautiful. The school's a terrific school. I really enjoyed my time. You could live 10 miles from Wake and take you 10 minutes to get there. It was great. and that was my first year of marriage with my wife. It was our last year at Wake, and we sort of enjoyed our time. Just the two of us out in the middle of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We had a lot of success during that time. Coaching guys like Josh Howard and Darius Sangalia and Chris Paul and Justin Gray. I mean, it was really really fun time.
Chris, what do you see in those guys on film? They've been close in some games that they've lost, and then they did beat Clemson the other day.
Yeah, they've played everybody, outside of Duke, tooth and nail, and I think they've got some much improved players from a year ago. I think Olivier Sarr may be the most improved guy in the conference, at least top 2 or 3, and he's a focal point. They use him an awful lot in high-low situations, both as the finisher and as the passer. At times he'll play the 4, so it makes it even more of a challenge. Brandon Childress is just a very, very heady point guard, a guy that can score it, can pass it, really knows how to control a game. And I think the other players are getting Sean D back, who's I think a really good scorer for him. So they had a lot of new parts to start the year, whether it's freshmen or grad transfers, and I think they're sort of finding their stride, and we have to make sure that we're ready to go tomorrow night.
Anyone else?
I'm curious, you used to coach high school basketball, and I'm curious your thoughts on if you think a shot clock would ever be good in the high school basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's necessary. I just think that, for those kids that want to play at the next level in college, I mean, they're get experience, understand how to play in that situation, and then, you go to some high school games and teams hold the ball for 2 or 3 minutes. Just, I understand why it hasn't, but I think it's time.
Back of the room, last one.
Coach, I remember last year you said, I think this time of year you guys do kind of keep an eye on the standings a little bit. Just wondering how that dynamic changes at all, if it does, with where you are and kind of handling the pressure of being in the conversation of a 1 seed right now.
We don't worry about that. We certainly look at the conference standings, but we looked at them after 1 game. So every game counts the same. They don't say, well, you get more points because you beat a better team, or it doesn't count as much. Every game gives you an opportunity to win a conference championship, and so as far as the seeding for the big tournament, we don't care about that.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.